Hey, what's up, y'all? It's me, Ned Almighty, and I'm back with another Raising Kanan Season 4 Theory and Prediction video. And today we'll talk about Unique crushes the Thomas family by exposing Stefano to Phil Russo. Now we will discuss all things involved that can make this connection and how this will result by the end of the series or by the end of the season. Because you gotta ask yourself, with Unique being the John Doe and Unique having to move beyond the shadows, there's still major players who he would have to connect with. There's still major players who he would have to find a way to speak to and make some kind of alliance in order to really arm himself against Rock and the Thomas family and all of the resources that they currently have. And you have to ask yourself, what is the best, quickest way for Unique to be able to deal with the Thomas family if he really wants to crush them? And when you really think about it, there is no better way than dealing with Russo and the New Jersey mob. And I'll explain exactly how this can happen. This video is going to be another banger. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Peace. Alright, so we have to ask ourselves, how did Russo get to Unique? Or how did Unique go out of his way to get to Russo? Now, I have multiple videos where I state the theory of Stefano being the one to save Unique. Right? Help Unique once he found Unique in the landfill after Ronnie's attack. Now, to me, that's the coolest way. That's the coolest way, right? And also, when we look at the previews, there's an Italian man who seems to be a personal doctor who explained how Unique's personality is going to change because of his brain damage, right? The damage to the left hemisphere of his brain. This was a quote-unquote Italian man talking to a mysterious black person. We don't know who he is, but we will find out, right? So it seems to me that either Early Tyler or Panessa have access to a seemingly Italian doctor, which is not likely at all for Panessa, and it's a maybe for Early Tyler, but unlikely as well. Or you got a representative that's a doctor who is either on the side of Russo or Stefano, right? Who was able to care for Unique at some point once he was found in the landfill. So we have to assume that when the information is revealed, it will either be on Russell or Stefano's side. I feel like it makes more sense for Stefano. I feel like it kind of like, narratively speaking, be dumb for, we never knew who Phil Russo was before the end of season 3, and then season 4 come, and then we find out it was Russo and his people who found him. Although they could make it make sense based off of a video that I seen Getting How I Live make, where he stated that it's possible that Russo's people, because they already had issues with Unique and was probably already looking into what Stefano had going on, to where when Ronnie attacked Unique, or rather when they got to that fight, they already had people staking out Unique's tailor shop. That's possible, but to me, I feel like the Stefano situation would be the better way, and then that could also link to a whole lot of different conspiracies and stuff dealing with, you know, Unique and Snaps and Pop and Stefano, what he got going on. But we'll find out when the series comes back, right, on March 7th. But let's keep it going, right? Like I said, we don't know who doctor is that, but he is Italian, okay? And now, you have to ask yourself, once Unique comes to, he realizes that he wants to destroy the Thomas family, and he wants to take what he feel like is rightfully his, you got to understand that the best reason for him to get in contact with Phil Russo is something that we've seen in real life, something that is spoken about in books, like 48 Laws of Power, something that we've seen narratively be portrayed in a whole lot of stories in cinema, and that's the situation of the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And when you look at Unique, his enemies would be Rock and the Thomas organization. His enemies would be in his head, Stefano, whether Stefano helped him or not. He would feel some type of way that Stefano is taking some kind of favor to them. And he would be privy to some information based off of his previous dealings with Barcelli and the rest of them. He would understand that Phil Russo would be somebody who would have a serious problem with the Thomas family for taking out Barcelli, and with Stefano for going against the families and having Barcelli killed. So he would find it advantageous for him to go ahead and find a way to get in contact with Barcelli, right? And now when we get to Barcelli, we got Russo, who will likely be suspecting that who will likely be suspicious of Stefano, and will want to wait until he has definitive proof in order to kill him or have him killed. So Unique would find a way to contact this man. He would proposition him, and he would probably say, hey, listen, I know who sanctioned that hit on Sal Barcelli. It wasn't the Thomas family. It was Stefano who sanctioned that hit. Yes, it was Marvin. I believe he would know it was Marvin who did it by this current point in time. If the police know, they probably got someone in the police force who will be able to make that connection. He would say, yes, your man's sanctioned that hit though, right? And Russo would say, hey, I can't just take the word of a nigga. Bring me proof. Bring me proof and we can get it done. And in exchange for that, I'll give you access to some kind of territory, or I'll do some kind of favor for you, and we can keep rocking like that. Maybe I'll connect you to a supplier, something like that, right? And next he would say, and next you could ask yourself, what kind of arrangement could be made from this link up? What could be done in order to guarantee some trust between both parties, right? And here we go with the suspicion that a lot of people are thinking that eventually Unique would kill Marvin, right? It could be Russo who says, okay, since I know that Marvin killed Barcelli, since we know that's a fact, prove your loyalty to me by killing Marvin. And once Unique allegedly killed Marvin, then you'll have a situation where Russo would then grant him some kind of territory, you know, some of the things that I previously stated. And this would be a scenario where Unique could ultimately win, because I'm trying to figure out a scenario where Unique could be Breeze, be hiding in the house all day, and still have enough power over Kanan, Tommy, and Ghost, where they would still respect him. He can still have some kind of control over them when Power Origin starts, if it is Unique who's going to be Breeze. How does he maintain that power? And it has to be, he has to be the person with the connection to all of the drugs. If not, there's no reason for them to even need him, lean on him, or even want to continue to do business with somebody who's not going to be outside as much as them, putting in as much work, which is what it seems like, right? So it will have to be, he makes some kind of deal with somebody who has a lot of product, or could connect him to somebody who has a lot of product. And the final question I want to ask is, when it comes to the death of Stefano, how would this happen? Because I do believe by the end of season 4, we will see Stefano die. So when we ask ourselves how this is going to happen, will Russo have the families kill Stefano, or would he have Unique do it? I think in order for him to not come under fire by the 5 families himself, he would thus just have to prove to the 5 families that it was Stefano who had these niggas doing all this stuff, and it was Stefano who had the black people kill Barcelli, and then they would all agree in unison to kill Stefano, and it would be like a big meeting about it. I think we would end up seeing a couple more of the families when it comes to the situation, and I believe that it will ultimately be Stefano, who ends up in his own damn furnace by the end of the season. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Peace.
Can't teach that shit, nigga. Come on. That's God-given. That's touch my ink. That's on the dome, nigga.